The two archetypes on tap for this discussion are both still rather competitive. In fact, I think the first deck gets a bad rap regarding its competitiveness, and for some reason just sees less play than it should, but both would be served by very specific monsters filling in gaps in their competitive playstyle, and I gave them an additional card to meet my two-card condition. The first deck on tap, it's Fire Fists. While Fire Fists have significant levels of already existing support, in my eyes they have one significant gap in their playmaking ability, which negatively influences their competitive potential, obviously. That gap is the lack of a level 7 Synchro monster that can be summoned via Spirit as the tuner. So if Fire Fists were to get new support, I think a level 7 Fire Beast Warrior Synchro would be at the top of the list. Here's my idea. Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, Shaman Hippo. Fire, Beast Warrior, level 7, 2500 attack, 2100 defense, Synchro. Apply the following effects based on the number of face-up fire formation cards on your field. Effects are cumulative. Each effect can only be activated once per turn. 0. Destroy this card. 1. Discard one card from your hand to add a fire formation card in your graveyard to your hand. 2. This card can attack up to 2 monsters during a battle phase. 3. Once per turn, you can special summon one XZ monster from your extra deck with Fire Fist in its name and attach 2 fire formation cards on your field to it as XZ material. 4. When a Fire Fist monster is special summoned from the extra deck, draw 1 card. 5. Send 2 fire formation cards on your field to the graveyard. Return 1 card in your opponent's hand or on your opponent's field to the bottom of his or her deck. I always felt the Fire Fists should have a card with an effect that was relative to the number of fire formation cards on the field. This monster is reasonably powerful, both in attack power and effect for being a level 7 Synchro, and has numerous useful effects with significant combination potential. But to earn those effects, you have to fill your back row with fire formation cards, which, when they're face up, they're not so great. The other thing that Fire Fist certainly would not complain about is another quality fire formation card. Here's what I thought up. Fire formation KORO. Continuous spell. Only one fire formation KORO can be on the field, once per turn during either player's turn. When a fire formation spell or trap card is activated, the effect of this card becomes the effect of the activated card. For those having any type of difficult time understanding that effect, think of this card as like a continuous spell version of Serial Spell for fire formation card. Basically, if this card is on the field and I activate Tenki, I can receive a second search if I choose to activate KORO in response to activating Tenki. The effect remains with this card until another fire formation is activated, and the effect copies that fire formation card, or its effect is negated by some other card effect. Is this card too powerful? I don't think so, because it can only be activated once per turn, and it is dependent on other fire formation cards. The second deck is a very popular deck, but has fallen off a little in the competitive environment. Overall, while I do not think Blackwings really need new support to compete in the current meta, just better play strategy and deck design, it's difficult to argue that their support has been power creeped in a sense by the support that exists for both current meta decks and meta decks in the last format. However, despite continuously getting new support, their recent new batch of support outside of 1 or 2 cards has been rather pathetic. Of course, this really shouldn't be surprising, since most of that support seems to be pulled from the anime in a Deus Ex Machina capacity, where, the situation is some very extremely unlikely scenario, and, I need 1 card to magically pull this duel out. I drew it. But in reality, that card is incredibly situational and will rarely be useful for the deck. So, when asked what type of Blackwing support I would create, here are the results. First off, in my opinion, the biggest gap in Blackwing deck design is that they lack a level 2 tuner that can be special summoned innately. The only real good level 2 tuner they have is Blizzard, but it can't be special summoned, and Blizzard does serve a valuable role on its own when normal summoned. Having a level 2 tuner that could be special summoned innately would significantly increase the probability of summoning Nothung due to the presence of those 3 to 4 quality level 4 non-tuners that Blackwings commonly run. And as most Blackwing players know, summoning Nothung is the first step to pulling off your major play combinations. So, what level 2 tuner would I give Blackwings? Here it is. Blackwing ARAVINE the Shadow Eclipse. Dark Wing Beast, level 2, 700 attack, 500 defense, tuner. Its effect, You can special summon this card from your hand by revealing one Blackwing monster in your hand not named ARAVINE the Shadow Eclipse. You can only activate the effect of ARAVINE the Shadow Eclipse once per turn. When this monster is used to synchro summon a monster, you can select one of the following effects. 1. Discard one card from your hand, target one synchro monster on your field, and increase its attack by 400 times the number of Blackwing monsters on your field until your opponent's next end phase. 2. Send one Blackwing monster in your deck to your graveyard. This card is definitely powerful, as its innate special summoning ability allows Blackwings to continue their play even if the normal summons is stopped, or simply special summon it to initiate a play because of the general Blackwing standard. If another Blackwing is on the field other than the named Blackwing, you can special summon this card. The associated synchro effect, the first one allows Blackwings to press for damage and attack over high attack point monster targets without relying on their assault Blackwing brethren, which is a little more shaky and can produce a, in my opinion, less reliable Blackwing deck. The second effect allows for more interesting Blackwing deck design by giving the player a better chance to run monsters like Vayu, Steam, or Kalamia, which definitely have better effects in the graveyard than in the hand, or one could simply use it as a foolish burial effect to dump Zephyros. While this is the only card I think Blackwings really need to become more competitive, I always like making two cards, so the second one is a rather interesting draw card that allows Blackwings to recover during the late game. For outside of Black Whirlwind, the spell and trap based search/draw cards that Blackwings have are rather bad. The card, Honoring the Broken Wing. Normal spell. The effect? Only one Honoring the Broken Wing can be activated per turn. Pick up a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of Blackwing synchro monsters on your field and in your graveyard. Add an equal number of Blackwing monsters with different levels from those cards to your hand equal to the number of Blackwing synchro monsters in your graveyard. Return the rest of the cards to your deck and shuffle your deck. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard to return 4 Blackwing synchro monsters from the graveyard to the extra deck to add one Blackwing spell or trap card in the graveyard to your hand. To those a little confused by the effect, take the following scenario. You have a Nothong, Hawk Joe, Assault Blackwing Recurry in your graveyard, and an Early Summer Rain on the field. You activate this card. You would pick up 4 cards, and suppose you pick up a Christ, Gale, Black Sonic, and a Bora. You would be able to add the Gale and either the Christ or the Bora to your hand and return the remaining cards to the deck and shuffle. Now, if you picked up 4 Blackwing monsters with different levels, you would only be able to add 3 of them because there are only 3 Blackwing synchro monsters in the graveyard. On its face, this card appears rather powerful, able to produce +2s, +3s, maybe even a +4, but it is not free advantage. It is a gamble. The total success rate depends on specific deck design, flat-out luck, and demands Blackwing playmaking to even produce the chance to be viable. Well, those are my support ideas to help increase the win probabilities of both Blackwings and Fire Fists. Thank you for your attention and your time. I'm out.